Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture. My guest today is Mona Bender. This is a movie review. The movie that we'll be reviewing is Dazed and Confused.
Yes.
Mona chose the movie. Before we get into it, this is a 100% spoiler review. But before we spoil the movie, Mona, do you believe they should watch it?
I think you should definitely watch it. It's great by itself. It pairs nicely with a joint. 100% fresh review. Watch it.
You said it like wine and fish.
Pairs real good. It's like a 2-hour movie though, so like maybe roll 2 or 3. I don't know.
Give the whole tutorial. This is the ingredients,
Yeah.
guys. I agree. It's a good film. If you do not want to watch it, not pay to watch it, I'm sure it'll be on USA Network later.
Yeah, probably right now.
Yeah.
It's always on there.
Nice. All right, guys. Everything past this point is 100% spoilers. Mona, I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, so this is Richard Linklater. He's from Texas. It's set in, I don't know if they ever actually identified the part of Texas it's supposed to be. And I'm wanting to say it's 96, 98, something around there. So if you haven't seen it by now and we're spoiling anything for you, it's your fault. It's an old movie. It's set in the 70s, but it was filmed in the 90s. But it's a good, just sort of, I don't want to sound like some sort of movie reviewer, but we are reviewing a movie. But it's sort of a I don't know, like slice of life, bubble time movie thing.
Yeah.
Like the professionals say.
The professionals say bubble time.
Bubble time movie
bubble
thing.
Bath time movie thing.
It's like it's a period movie. I think it's set in 76.
Yeah.
And it's the last day of school, and it follows this group of young people, children now to me, honestly. Yeah. They're high school seniors and freshmen.
Yeah.
So infants.
Yeah. It's the true definition of a hangout film.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel like you're there when you're sitting
just you're just following them through this ritual of this is the last day of school and this is what's happening. They're planning parties and harassing freshmen, which was never really a thing where I came from, but apparently in Texas in the 70s it was a big deal. I don't get it, but it is what it is.
I did a little research on this film after watching it. I watched it literally yesterday.
Oh, okay.
That was my first time ever watching this movie. Believe it or not, this is my first time watching it.
Oh, really?
Yep, came on the USA Network. Yeah, it just happened to come on.
USA
I was just
Network.
I was about to rent it on Amazon, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Luckily, I caught it right when I watched. I had to sit through commercials. You'll let me know if I missed anything because see cable. You miss some stuff.
Right.
But after doing research, the reason that really attracted me to this movie before I got a chance to watch it, when I popped up, because I like to do the poster thing, so I click posters so I can upload them on Instagram later. It was this quote from Quentin Tarantino talking about the movie, and he said when he was very lonely, he would play this movie, he would watch this movie, and feel like he was hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
And after watching the movie, I definitely get what Quentin Tarantino meant by that.
Yeah. And like you watch it, and if you watch it later on in life, like a lot of people did. I watched this movie when I was like 6, like very young. I saw this movie because my parents figured I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't. But I've watched it through all the stages of my life, but if you look back on like your last day of your junior year of high school, you can identify people that you know.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, the Matthew McConaughey character, everybody knows a sleazy guy that graduated 6 years ago that still tries to date high school girls. You're not friends with him, hopefully, but, like, everybody knows that type of guy.
Yeah, that guy's probably in jail now.
He's in jail, hopefully. But, yeah, like, it's, you know those people.
Yeah.
And you feel like you know what's going on.
And don't get me wrong, I judge movies by the time they come out. So I can imagine in '96 when this came out, that line that he has where this movie is very quotable.
It's it's one of the most quotable movies ever.
And I think that's why it's so like popular, because it's so quotable. Yeah. It's so many different TV shows ranging from Family Guy to a lot of other TV shows where they parodied this movie, and I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Did not know why all right was a thing until yesterday.
There you go.
Now I'm just like, yes.
All right.
Now I'm just like, yes, Matthew McConaughey, ride that wave.
Yeah.
This isn't aggravating anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not confused anymore.
I get it now.
Because, like, for the longest time, like...
Why the fuck does he keep saying that?
Yeah, because I was like, come on, buddy, you're the guy from Failure to Launch. Like,
yeah. Oh, no.
Why not ride that wave? And then I watched Failure to Launch, and I was like, get off. And,
yeah. No.
Yeah, but now...
That's a wipeout.
Yes. But all right is... It's really him. Like, it's the way he delivers it. And then and then to find out that's not in the script. He just said it.
Yeah.
And now I can only imagine. I have a friend that directs porn.
Cool.
So that's the only director friend I have. But he says it's stuff that like they'll do together, and he'll be behind the camera like. I can only imagine when he said all right. The director was like, yes, we got it. Yes.
Yeah. Linklater was probably sitting there like, oh, fuck yeah. Because he, I don't know this entire story, but Richard Linklater met McConaughey like in a bar and was like, you know, I'm writing this thing. You want to be in this thing? Because he was like a bartender and like doing some acting or whatever, because it was probably Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And that's Richard Linklater said he was the perfect guy because he's that character. And that's another thing I love about the movie. Like, first of all, I love an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Give me 30 motherfuckers in a movie. Like, I want to follow everybody.
Yeah.
And see what's going on. But it's just spot on casting.
Yeah. And he said that after reading a few articles, he said these were like his friends growing up. So he was able to develop characters from people he really knew, people that he had conversations with. Because the conversations in this movie and I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino's dialogue. And I would say it's the same level, because their dialogue sounds like normal dialogue. It's never... It's never a time when somebody says something and I was like, oh, they dramatized that a little bit.
Yeah, no, and it's especially like there's one scene where it's the like nerdy people, Cynthia, the redheaded girl, and the two guys, they're in the car and they're talking about, you know, I don't really want to do what I've been saying I want to do. I feel like a fucking fraud, and I don't. And then it goes from that really serious conversation to just, I want to dance. And it's the funniest thing, because that's how you talk to your friends when you're riding around, like cruising the strip or whatever.
Yes.
Like, just going from real talk to like, fuck this.
Yes. And you say you grew up in a little town. I grew up in a little town.
Yeah.
Explain to people that didn't grow up in a little town what we mean by just riding around.
Oh, if you don't have anywhere to go, and you do have a mode of transportation, you just go nowhere. There's usually a main street of some sort, and you just go down it and then loop around the other side of town and then go back down it. Or you find somewhere to park. Like in the movie, they have the Moon Tower where they have this party. And where I'm from, we had a lake. So we would just go down by the lake and have parties almost exactly like the one in the movie. So that's that's one of the reasons I love it too, because it's very real about small town life. You like cruise to McDonald's, you ride the strip a couple times. You know, if there's a bar in town that'll let you come in to just shoot pool, you go in to just shoot pool and lie and sneak drinks and drink in the parking lot or whatever else. But it's like, I feel that because I lived that, you know. And if you're not familiar with not having anywhere to go and nothing to do, this movie might take a little bit to understand. But it's just, you don't want to be at the house with your parents.
Yeah.
You just, you know, and your friends don't want to be at the house with their parents. You just pile in whoever's got a car and cruise.
I can recall, and I'm not making this up, electronic department of Walmart. Me and my friends used to hang out there. It was weird. Like looking back on it was weird. Looking at it now was just a normal hangout. Yeah. But looking back on it, it was just like, why?
The context of it is like, why are we standing around a Walmart?
Why are we playing this PlayStation 3?
Yeah, in the Walmart.
Yeah, and we just thought this was cool. Why were we just driving around? And this is like, remember, I graduated, 2010? So 2009, 2010, my first friend got his first car in 2009. 2010, just riding around. We didn't want to go all the way to Columbia. It was just riding around and going to Waffle House or riding around and going to electronic department in Walmart. Yep. Or like really just hanging out at a friend's house when we did. But it really, if we didn't come to Columbia, it was really just riding around. Like, I have so many memories in my Nissan, which was my brother's old car, but my Nissan Sentra and my friend's old like Ford Ranger truck. And like, that was really it. Like, it was nothing to do. And this movie just brought back those memories.
I had a 99 Blazer was my first car. I'm the oldest, so I didn't get the hand-me-down car, but I got just a tank.
You took care of it?
I tried.
My brother didn't take care of his car because he knew it was coming to me, so he had no reason to take care of it.
That car was never going to make it to my sister. Okay. I actually lost that one in an accident because a lady doesn't understand right of way wherever she is. I hope she's uncomfortable. But it had a hollowed out wheel well where you should probably keep like a jack or like roadside assistance tools. And I figured out that it would work fine as a makeshift liquor cabinet for when I went to parties by the lake. And that kind of fits into that whole being raised on Dazed and Confused thing. And it's just, you know, you're bored. Yeah. It's just boredom.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it just brought back those memories. Yeah. The soundtrack in this movie, I think the music goes so well with every scene.
It's one of my notes.
Let me hear about it.
The soundtrack is phenomenal because this movie to me is one of the first times I ever saw like a stoner culture that wasn't West Coast.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, because you see all of the like hippie surfers and San Francisco and Summer of Love, but everybody was smoking pot. But this is sort of, and it's also a little bit later. It's not quite like 68. It's 6 or 7 years later. And so I think the soundtrack really highlights that because you don't have like Janis Joplin and Hendrix. You've got like Alice Cooper. Yep. And Aerosmith. And like the big concert they're trying to get is Kiss. And it's not necessarily music that you associate with like stoner culture, but it is because, you know, it's always been stoner culture to be a rock musician.
I can see that.
But it's the music and it's fantastic. It's, you know, you got Alice Cooper, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, whose music is fantastic, even though he's a crazy person. Genuine nutcase.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. So, and this is not to throw any shade on this movie. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. What's the plot?
There isn't one. Like, the plot is so simple that it's almost irrelevant. The plot is that the main character, Randall Pink Floyd, which is the coolest fucking nickname. I'm just going to get that out there. If your last name is Floyd and your nickname is not Pink, I don't know what you're doing. But he's dealing with being who he is. Like, he's being faced with this authoritarian rule that's coming from his football coach, and he's like developing his principles that he's not gonna just sign the paper and get it over with. And then the rest of the plot is his journey to get absolutely wrecked on the last day of school.
Yeah. That's why I called it back to being a hangout movie, because it's like,
yeah,
I didn't watch it for the plot. I watched it.
We're not going anywhere. We're just going.
Yeah, like
that goes back to riding.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going anywhere. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel about the pacing?
Honestly, it gets a little bit jumbled because it's supposed to be like a full day.
Yep, one day.
But it's like, what time of year is it in Texas? Because you've got the whole like showdown with the senior guys and the freshman guys trying to get away from them, and then the freshman girls doing the fry like bacon thing, and then there's like a whole like really long time where they're just cruising around and going to the pool hall and all that shit. And then there's like a really long section of time where they're at a party, and like you see the party wind down to where they're like tapping kegs. Like it just seems like a really long day.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been asleep
way
before any of these people were, even in high school. But I think other than that, like it pretty much, the whole getting ready and riding around before you go to the actual party, that seemed pretty on point to me. Yeah. It's just all kind of, I feel like there should have been different lighting or something.
I see that. So, of course, like I said, I judge movies by their time periods.
Yes.
Do you feel like this movie could be made today? And, of course, that Matthew McConaughey line where I like high school girls because I keep getting older and they stay the same age. Yeah. We know that's deleted.
That would not. That one probably wouldn't fly.
No. No. Who's gonna play that part? R. Kelly? Like,
no. Yeah. You could honestly, and that's another thing though, is about that time, is you never really know exactly how old he is.
Yep. No.
I think you could fly that now if you had a much younger character, like a 20-year-old character.
I think he said he had been out of high school for 6 years.
Oh, yeah. That would not work.
No.
Because he looked like a whole grown man.
Yeah.
You could...
24, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. If you can grow facial hair.
Oh, true.
Which he had a fantastic mustache.
Oh, yeah. You knew he was a star.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And then he saw the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're like, well, we don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It keeps you guessing.
Yeah.
But, I think even that part, I think, could survive if you made the character like a college student, maybe. Like a slightly younger, not full adult.
I don't think any...
But I don't think it would lose much, honestly, if that part was... I think you could probably... I think it would survive.
I feel like any studio would be like, no, we're not working on
children doing drugs. Yeah, thank you.
We're not working on probablys here.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. No. They wouldn't sign it on my recommendation, but I'd take it on. I think you could either. I don't want it to happen. I wouldn't want it to happen.
Yeah, but like you said, we all know that guy from our hometowns.
Yeah. But like if it had never existed then and you tried to make almost the same movie now, I mean, some of the plot holes there would be much bigger holes because people didn't have cell phones.
Yep.
And they obviously have cell phones now.
Yep.
And also, I don't think an entire city is going to condone like high school boys abusing their children anymore. But like, I don't know.
I would like to see a remake. I just hope they don't do it like I just got into Christmas music recently, like 3 years ago, because I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So like,
okay.
I just recently got in like holidays and stuff.
Okay, cool.
And have you heard this? Which I get it. Not to other people, like if you grew up celebrating Christmas, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, I heard this song called "It's Cold Outside," and I was just like, "Wow, this is not."
Yeah,
It's not good. And then, but then I heard the remake they did with John Legend and Kelly Clarkson, and I was like, this is way worse.
yeah.
And the dialogue was just like, it's your choice if you want to stay or go. And I was like, I'll stick with the original. This is not the same.
I know that it's one of those things where it happens where a certain group of people like to act like another certain group of people are outraged by things that they're not outraged by.
Yeah.
Do I think the lyrics are a little bit cringy? Yeah, of course they are. He literally put something in her drink.
Yeah.
But, in our world, that sounds like she's being drugged. But then it was like, oh, he put a shot of schnapps in there. And then you think about that again and you're like, oh, well, he's definitely trying to get her drunk. That's not better. You got to think about it a couple times and be like, this is probably not a song for now.
I definitely would not. But definitely when I heard the remake, I was just like,
the remake is.
Yeah, I was just like, man, this is fighting really hard.
Yeah. Swimming upstream on that one.
Yeah, make a new song.
You could just not sing the song.
Yeah,
just let it go.
Yeah, that's exactly.
We could just put it on a shelf like lots of other songs we don't sing anymore.
Yes. But as long as they don't do that with the remake of the movie, I think they could possibly make a remake.
I think watering it down too much or trying to make it, and I'm the type of person that like, I feel like a lot of things shouldn't be said because it's hateful and offensive.
Yes.
But also like trying too hard to avoid hurting anyone's feelings
makes it corny.
Yeah, you've gotten corny. Like, this isn't a PSA, it's a movie about teenagers smoking dope.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, it's not PBS.
Yeah, like this, maybe your kid shouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
If your kid's so damn soft.
Yes, and as someone that has a stepson, I people don't like to hear this, but it's very easy to stop him from watching stuff.
Yeah, it
Once
is.
he becomes a teenager, I'm pretty sure I'll get it in, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
But now it's very easy for him not to watch stuff.
Yeah. It's super easy to keep your kids from seeing things that aren't for children.
Yes, exactly. But I meant with the teenager part, I can imagine how difficult that one, because I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I can imagine, like,
I was a teenager with limited internet access, and I still got up to plenty of shenanigans.
Oh yeah, dial-up porn was horrible.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh my god.
The roughest of all days.
I was like, please hurry up. Oh man. My when I do videos, I don't like go through clips. I let YouTube choose it. But if YouTube chooses this, I'll be like,
we're gonna have to
move that clip
YouTube.
over. Yeah, like, oh no, not that clip. I'll just have a picture of you, just like.
Not the one where you're just like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
somebody's gonna draw on that. It's not gonna be good.
Yeah, exactly. I become a GIF. Yeah.
That would be great.
Not for me.
No,
not for me. Not for me. What episode was this, Mike? So, besides all right, what is another quotable line that you enjoy, or that you actually say in your real life?
Oh God, my favorite is it's again a Matthew McConaughey line where he's like, "Hey, you got a joint on you?" And the guy's like, "Oh no," because he's the freshman and he's like trying to be cool, and he's like, "No man, I don't have anything on me." And he goes, "Should be a lot cooler if you did."
Yeah.
And that comes up a good bit. You'd be surprised at how often that can be used organically.
Oh, I'm using all right. The rest of my life, like the first time I heard it during the scene, I think it's the scene where he's just driving up, I believe.
Yeah, he pulls up next to him I've seen this movie 8,000 times.
Okay.
He pulls up next to him at the burger drive-in. He's like, all right.
Yeah, and it's just, and when you hear it, it's just like, okay, now this makes sense.
Yeah.
All these other times I've seen him on talk shows, it just sounds forced.
It's
But
just
now,
been a lot of work.
yeah, like yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, if you get asked to say something every time people see you, if you got a catchphrase, there are worse catchphrases.
I mean, trust me. Whenever I get my lottery ticket, I'll use it. Like, it's like a lot of one-hit wonders. Like, you should not complain. You could be working a regular job.
Oh yeah.
Now go to that state fair and sing, whatever.
Jumper 17 times.
Good. That was good. That was good. Good. I was gonna think of some Swayze song, but yeah, that's good too. Whatever Swayze had out. Wow. Do you know who I'm talking about right now?
I don't. Patrick Swayze?
No, it was a band. It was like a black dude and they had some song called Corona and Lime or something. Buzzing. She was buzzing all over me.
Nope.
Okay. This has nothing to do with the movie. But yeah. So how do you like the movie the way it wrapped up at the end?
The ending is pretty cool. I like that they just, rode off into the city to get their tickets.
Yeah.
With the statues painted with the kiss face in the background, and he's like, I might play football, I might not, but right now I'm going to get tickets to see Aerosmith with my pothead friends. Yes. I'm like, that's great.
I just love the simplicity of it.
Yeah. It just ties up nicely.
Yes. What separates this coming of age movie from other coming of age movies?
The reality is one thing. Like, movies don't like to admit that teenagers fuck and like cheat on each other and like have real drama. Like it treated it like it was real.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's because like Stand By Me, I've never gone to find a dead body with my friends. We have different activities.
Yeah, I hope my friends aren't. I'm glad I didn't have friends like that. I had one friend like that, and he was just weird. But we just had to remind him, like, hey man, you're weird.
You gotta pretend to be normal for a minute.
Yeah. Well, my other friends are here too. Stop doing that.
Yeah. But like, I think it's just the realness of it. I think it's more relatable for me, maybe not for other people.
No, it is. Like for the longest time, I would like call Superbad my like favorite coming of age film.
Yeah,
and which is wild because I would tell my friends and they were just like, really, and I get it because my friends are black and I'm black and you would think it would be something that like I could like kind of relate to, which I could a little bit, but after seeing this, I would have to knock Superbad down a peg just because this movie really felt like coming of age. Like just had all the works of a coming of age film.
Yeah, and for like we talked about how slim the plot is, but the plot is his coming of age and him deciding on his principles and that was where he was going to draw the line. And I think a lot of times like when you're that age, that's what you have to start figuring out where you stand and what you'll stand for.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, not to lend too much like credence to a stoner movie, but I felt that after I watched it recently as a grown person who's had to come to terms with, my life choices and my happiest life are not necessarily what my parents had envisioned for me or what people expect of me, but I'm living for me. Yeah. So I kind of feel that when he makes that decision that, this is what's important to me. Yeah. Fuck what you want from me.
I love movies that have a message but aren't shoving it down your throat.
Right. Like, I'll take the message when I want the message.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
Yes. When it comes to the setting, we talked about it, but the last thing I would like to say about the setting, how do you think, because this movie could have easily been boring, easily could have been a boring film. How do you think he made it like interesting?
I think the like, again, the bubble shots, like where they're in the cars or if they're like in a classroom or wherever, I think those are mixed well enough with like action shots to where, like, you know, the baseball scene where they're running after them and the soundtrack backing up the action. Because, like, you have the scenes where they're, like, paddling the kid and it's No More Mr. Nice Guy. And then they're, like, dancing in the back of the truck and it's, I can't remember which song it is, but it's, like, Dancing in the Moonlight or something like that. Like a party song. So it's, like you said, it's keeping you like you're there. Like you're hearing the music that they're listening to, or you're hearing the music that moves that moment, like the emotion behind it. And I think that's one of the things that keeps it from being like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, exactly. 1 through 10. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You have more notes? What else would you like to say about this movie?
One thing I enjoyed was the only actual educator you see in the entire movie. Like, you see the coach, but the only actual educator you see is the history teacher. And I love her. I don't know if she ever acted in another thing, but the 5 minutes she was in that movie was nonstop hilarious.
She nailed it.
Never made a joke.
Yeah.
Like, because one of the guys is like propositioning her, like, "Hey, I'm 18. Let's hook up," and she's like, pats him on the head. And it's like, "Please go away." And then she's dismissing the class, and she's like, "Hey, just remember when you're getting all excited about this bicentennial shit that we're only celebrating because a bunch of rich slave-owning white men didn't want to pay their taxes." And I'm like, that is fucking solid.
Yeah.
Like, and that is the only educator you see in a Texas high school in 1976.
I appreciate that line a lot, too.
It's beautiful. I love it. And I've quoted that line to several people. But I think it's funny that that's the only educator that you see. Like, you don't see, and the freshman's teacher, that when they're like, "Hey, if you could let us go like 5 minutes early, that would be great." And he's like, "Yeah, well, when we went into the jungle in Vietnam, our CEO was like, 5 of you are going in, 4 of you probably won't come out. So, like, fuck off." Like, those are the two teachers that they show you.
Talking like teachers.
Like, just the best example of education. Like, the one guy's like, "I don't give a fuck about you guys."
Yeah, public education at its best.
Beautiful stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, I wanted to make that note that the only educators you see are just bold.
I wouldn't say bold, more like, it's the last day.
Yeah.
You gonna tell your mom? Tell your mom. Tell your mom.
Yeah.
Tell your mom and dad. Tell them.
Tell everybody.
Yeah, there's no cell phones right now.
Write me a letter.
Yeah, there's no cell phones right now. You can't prove this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love that, because that neither of those attitudes are what you would typically think of for that time and that place. And I love it. It's great.
I just have so many friends that are teachers. So maybe that's my mind. It's just like, I've heard them outside of work. I can only imagine how many times they have slipped up in real life.
Yeah. I recently started having friends who have real jobs, like teaching. And,
These are real jobs.
I'm a waiter. Like,
that's an important job.
It's important, but I serve hush puppies. I'm not like molding the minds of America.
I have to trust you to bring it to me. I have to make sure you don't have your hair in it. I have to send it back, and if I send it back, you have to let me know whether, hey, don't send that back. And because I was at Red Robin, I took my family to Red Robin. It was like our family eat out day, and I was supposed to have like 2 patties, and the waiter just looked at me and was like, "I'll just take it off." And I was like, "I appreciate it, bro." Like, I just gave him a bigger tip.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
thank you for being real.
Yeah, like, don't send this back. So he took it off my ticket, and I just I gave him like half of that as a tip.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I have friends that are teachers now, and seeing them like, "I'm off work. Let's go get fucked up," and I'm like, "You have to go teach children tomorrow." Like, I'm like, oh, fuck them. Like, damn.
Dude, I'm friends with a ninth grade English teacher, and this dude literally looked at me and was like, I have a lot of plant workers in my class.
Oh, God.
Bruh, like, yo, I remember it so well because the enthusiasm he had in college is gone.
Gone.
He was like,
sapped.
he's like, he teaches his honors classes one way, but when he goes to his regular classes, he just like, and he knows some people in regular classes aren't gonna make it, but he was like, his honor class, he's like, they I guess because I took an honors class in high school, and they did talk to me way different than when I went back to regular classes.
Yeah.
So, but that was a side note. But 1 through 10, what would you give this movie?
Oh my God. For me, it's a 9. I don't even know what I would do to improve it, but I hesitate to say 10 because that's a bit much. It's over enthusiasm.
I would give it a 9 also. This is a dumb question, but I have to ask, like I asked all my guests.
Sure.
Do you believe that this movie has become a part of pop culture?
Oh, absolutely. It's super quotable. There's been so many shows that have done spoofs of it and quoted it and all this other stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a classic movie, but it's certainly like a cult classic. Like, if you know, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go as Matthew McConaughey for like Halloween.
I think you should. Don't hit on high school girls.
Oh no, I can't quote that many lines.
You'll go to jail.
Yeah, and deservingly.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah, on second thought, I will not go as him.
Maybe don't.
No, I will not. Now,
try do the.
after hearing that out loud, no.
Yeah, do the Slater. Get yourself the nice long wig and the backwards hat.
I will not go as Matthew McConaughey. Thank you for bringing that back to reality.
Yeah. It's a good idea, but think twice.
No, only once. All right. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans? And please tell people where they can follow you.
Hey, Mama. If you want to follow me and find out what I'm getting into, it's at Mona FKN Bender on Instagram. When I have shows that are coming up, you'll be the first ones to know.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the movie review.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
It's been a great time.
Thanks. All right. And thank you guys for listening and have an amazing day.